Okay, so I think that's my cue to start. Okay, so welcome everyone. Thanks for joining us this morning. We're excited to tell you a little bit more about the Trotter Multicultural Center. So just to give you a little overview of what we'll be doing, we'll introduce ourselves, we'll introduce our programming, we'll tell you a little bit about the building. But before that, did we have the director video? I'm sorry.
Yes, we do.
Okay, so before we dive into that, we're going to give you a little introduction to our director, who unfortunately can't be here today, but Dr. Kyra Shahid has recorded a video message for you all.
Greetings, good people. I am Dr. Kyra Shahid, and I am honored to serve as the director for the Trotter Multicultural Center. And it serves my heart well to extend a warm welcome to each and every one of you. Now, I'd hope that my schedule allowed me to be there with you live this morning, but sadly, I cannot. But I do know that my team is going to do an incredible job of ensuring that each and every one of you have the information that you need in order to better understand how Trotter can serve as a supportive home for you as you transition both to and through the University of Michigan. One of the things that we hope you gather from this presentation is just a little bit of a better understanding of who we are as a center and the rich history that we have inherited. Trotter is a space that has a layered, complicated, and significant history. We take our name from William Monroe Trotter, who was an incredible civil rights activist known for his unapologetic tone and stance as it pertains to Black liberation, and one of the creators of the very first African-American newspapers. And as we've built on the legacy of Trotter, the man, Trotter, the space, finds itself as a living, breathing manifestation of the hopes and dreams and activism of so many students over several decades who have demanded that we continue to create cross-cultural collaborative space, that we are diligent about maintaining safe and sacred space for underrepresented students, and that we as an institution are clear about our intentions to make sure that the work that we do is more equity focused and ultimately just as we think about the ways in which we engage our students and prepare them for the future. And so Trotter as a space holds a multitude of roles as we think about the ways in which we support and continue to support student activism, but in the ways that we are responsive to creating a space where students can activate new ideas, activate a new sense of community, and organize and collaborate with one another in a way that really transforms the student experience. Trotter is a space where you can find home in terms of connecting with other student organizations and students like yourself, where you can find home in terms of being able to find a space to study, to reflect, to commune with God in a spiritual way, to commune with one another, and create opportunities for us to engage in a lot of critical thinking and critical collaboration as we think about the ways in which we together will move the mission of Trotter forward. Now, what you're going to hear from our team today includes a lot of information about how you can make use of the space, what programs and events we have already thought about and have planned for you. But one of the things that I want to say to you before in my video today, is that we want to invite you to think about what are ways in which you can influence what's happening in Trotter. We've got great ideas, but what really manifests the true meaning of who we are and why we exist is creating a space for each and every one of us to have an impact and to transform the ways in which we engage as multicultural communities. And that requires the activation of the hearts, minds, and creativity of each and every one of us. So as you consider the information that's presented to you today, I want you to think about when and where you show up in the timeline of Trotter's history and how you can activate your own sense of self, your well-being, to think about the ways in which you help to propel this mission forward. As I mentioned in the beginning, I serve as the director, and I'm very new, just as new as you. And so I'm really excited about the potential of us learning and growing together at the university as a cohort of first-year experiences. And so I want to extend a personal invitation for you to reach out so that we can get to know each other better. But I want to invite you to build relationship with my team. 3 of them are live with you today, but we are a mighty 7 with 1 vacancy that we will fulfill rather quickly. But you're going to see in a few minutes a organizational chart that will let you know who makes up the Trotter professional staff team. And that includes myself as well as my dynamic and phenomenal associate director, Kellen Mackerel-Cooper, as well as our building manager, Gregory Watson. The 3 of us are not present with you today, but we're going to share just a little bit of information about who they are so that you might be able to recognize them as we begin to build relationship as you join the institution this coming fall. And then the rest of our dynamic team who is there with you live today will take a moment to introduce themselves to you before they share a little bit more about how you can make use of the space and what programs we have in store for you. It is our hope that as you consider all that is happening in the world globally and all that has happened in your world locally, that you will respond to our invitation to show up and build the type of relationships that last throughout decades and to create the type of impact that creates a better, more sacred, more safe, more culturally responsive, more culturally restorative experience for students like yourselves and the students who are to come. It is our hope that Trotter not only serves as a space that is a reminder of our past, but that is a guidepost to the future that involves healing for each and every one of us. So we're excited. We're really excited to say welcome to you and to tell you a little bit more about who we are and who Trotter the man is and how the legacy of Trotter can really dynamically change your experience as you cultivate your own college experience here at the university. Again, I welcome you. And I encourage you to reach out to us using the contact information that will be shared with you at the end of this presentation. But we're going to move things forward and let you know a little bit more about who we are and the history of the Trotter Multicultural Center. Peace and power, good people. I look forward to meeting you.
So that is Dr. Kyra Shahid, the new director of the Trotter Multicultural Center. As Kyra had mentioned, we have a program manager vacancy, and you can see Gregory Watson, our building operations supervisor, and Kellen Mackerel-Cooper, our associate director. As you move into the space, we hope you get a chance to meet those amazing colleagues. We'll go around and introduce ourselves as well. I'm already speaking, so my name is Nathan Hankey. I serve as the Intercultural Learning and Innovation Lead. I use he and him pronouns, and I'm looking forward to meeting you as you connect with Trotter and start to get involved with and build the community that we hope to create here. I am joined by 2 amazing colleagues.
Hi, everyone. My name is Brennan Macbeth. I'm the new program manager, and I provide support for the interfaith program, cultural engagement, and the intercultural learning program. I use they, them pronouns, and I'm so excited to start building community with all of you because I'm also brand new. So I'm glad to be on this journey with you.
Hi, my name is Erica Amati. I use she, her pronouns, and I am our new admin assistant. I directly support unit leadership, so that includes our new director, as well as the associate director and our intercultural learning and innovation lead. I help to manage the day-to-day operations of Trotter, and I also am usually on the other end of the emails for any questions that you have for Trotter or our programming, or I can redirect you to whoever you need.
And I'm going to pause screen share really quickly just so that you can see us larger. But hello, thank you all for being with us today. And I forgot I'm supposed to segue this as well. We've got one more video that we'd like to share with you that'll walk more through the history of the Trotter Multicultural Center and tell you some of the stories of the amazing students and their advocacy and activism that led us to where we are today.
For close to 50 years, Trotter has served as a student space. We began as Trotter House, a Black student cultural center founded in 1971 as a result of a campus-wide strike organized by the First Black Action Movement, also known as BAM, to protest against discrimination and marginalization of Black students. After Trotter was damaged by fire, it relocated to 1443 Washtenaw Avenue in 1972. And in 1981, it was renamed to Trotter Multicultural Center to match an expanded mission of enhancing multicultural awareness and understanding for all students. In 2014, the Black Student Union started #BBUM, Being Black at the University of Michigan, to spark discussions about Black students' experience on campus. One of the 7 demands issued to U of M administration was to build a new Trotter Multicultural Center facility located on Central Campus. Today, the William Monroe Trotter Multicultural Center lives in a centralized location on campus at 428 South State Street and opened its doors on April 11, 2019. The Trotter Multicultural Center continues to serve as a supportive home and environment to those committed to social justice and diversity, and as a space that celebrates the tradition and history of the Trotter Multicultural Center and student activism. At Trotter, we offer signature programs, meeting and lounge spaces, and on-site student support services. We look forward to seeing you at Trotter. Please visit our website for the latest information on events and happenings at the Trotter Multicultural Center.
Okay, so now that we've learned a little bit about Trotter and we've introduced ourselves, let's dive into some of our signature programming so you can figure out ways to get involved with us this upcoming year. So one of our major programming is the Intercultural Learning Program. And what this program does is that we're trying to build intercultural competence in our students. And what do I mean when I say that? I mean, what is your capacity to engage across difference and really understand the perspectives that you're coming across in your community? What is your ability to change and adapt your behaviors when you're encountering difference? Ultimately, the goal of this program is that when students go out on campus in the community, in the broader world after you graduate, we don't want you to make assumptions when you encounter people or difference that you're not used to. We want you to pause and think, what am I missing? Right? We don't automatically pass judgment when we encounter differences, but what am I missing? How can I go about internalizing this? How can I see this from a different perspective? And we do this through multiple workshops, some which are listed here, like intercultural learning, exploring and exploration of organizational culture. And we also use tools such as the IDI, the Intercultural Development Inventory, and the ICS, the Intercultural Conflict Styles Inventory, which helps you kind of figure out where you are on the intercultural competence spectrum and provides you ways that you can improve and better engage with difference as you come across it. So our Flourish program, it's kind of a wayfinding program that happens at the beginning of each semester. And this focuses on wellness. At Trotter, we're really committed to the wellness of the whole student. So during this about 6-week program, I believe it's 6 week, we explore the different dimensions of wellness following the wellness wheel. And this can include academic wellness, social and emotional health, physical wellness, financial wellness. And we do this because if you're unwell in one area, that can kind of bleed over into other areas, right? And we want to give you the tools to improve in all these areas and hopefully improve your overall wellness. And we do this by partnering with both on-campus and community partners to come in and teach you about these different areas and provide you with resources to go and connect if you need more help improving your wellness in these areas. So the Interfaith program is another program that I'm personally involved in. And often when we do identity work, particularly on secular campuses, faith identity tends to be left out, which is unfortunate because faith identity does have a very big impact on how you move through the world, right? It is key in identity development. It's key in goal forming and forming your trajectory and your career in life. So at Trotter, the goal of this program is to provide you a space to explore how your faith identity intersects with your other social identities, race, gender, ethnicity, what have you, just all of these identities, and how it also informs the way you move through the world, how it informs how you form goals, how it informs your concept of justice. But most importantly, this is an opportunity for you to connect with people both who share your similar ideas, but also forming community with those who have different experiences and perspectives. So coming together and learning from each other.
Our next area of programming is the Trotter Distinguished Leadership Series. This is a program that is sponsored through generosity of some amazing donors, and it's an opportunity for students to meet and hear from leaders from both the political and public sector. Some of our topics have included cybersecurity, environmental justice, debate and democracy, and many, many more. Some of the amazing presenters that have had in-person interactions with our students include Eduardo Chavez, a filmmaker who created the film Hail Caesar, chronicling the journey to understand the legacy and struggle of his grandfather, civil rights activist Cesar Chavez. We have also had audiences with the 66th Secretary of State, Condoleezza Rice, Senator Michigan Representative Sarah Anthony, Senator Sarah Chang. There have also been Pulitzer Prize winners and amazing scholars from within this community that serve as moderators through this program. For you coming in, this is an opportunity to connect with amazing, accomplished individuals and engage in conversation with your peers that attend the events. Our last area of programming that we want to discuss today is the Inclusive Student Leadership Program. We recognize that the university is going to spark your development both academically and personally, and many students have come into the University of Michigan having been in leadership positions or served as leaders. How this program works is we want to be very intentional and focus on harnessing your understanding of multiculturalism and your commitment to justice work in your leadership journey. We utilize a model called the SALT model that has several tenets that you can see listed out, including focusing on your commitment to justice, your ability to engage in controversy with courage, and to harness your empathy as a part of being an inclusive student leader. These are just snapshots of the signature programs that we offer here at Trotter. They are produced by amazing involved students, both that volunteer to support Trotter and that work for us as student staff. And there are opportunities to get involved in many ways through these programs. Many of the programs that we've just discussed happen within our facility. And so I'm going to turn it over to Erica, who is going to give you all a chance to look at our quiet spaces, our reservable rooms, and give you a bit of a building tour.
Hi. So, as we transition back from virtual to finally being in person, we are super excited to welcome all of the new and returning students and staff. So we're just going to do a quick overview of some of the spaces in Trotter and the ways that they're used. I just want to start by naming that all of the spaces in Trotter are open for public use during business hours, but there are a few select spaces that can be reserved for private meetings and events, and I've marked those spaces as such. Okay, so the first one would be our Sankofa Lounge, pronounced Sankofa. This is from the Twi language of Ghana, meaning go back to the past and bring forth what is useful. So this is our reminder to look to the past, learn from it, and use it to alter your future for the better. In respect to this theme, the wallpaper in this lounge highlights U of M student activism from 1968 to 2017, and our opportunities for learning and growth by remembering the past and using it as a guide. This wallpaper has also been tailored specifically to be easily updated as time goes on and as history goes on. Sankofa is a space that is made for working, studying, or connecting. And we like to think of it as if Trotter is a house, then Sankofa is its living room. Next space would be the multipurpose room, or our MPR. And this is going to be on the ground floor of Trotter. This space has a 200 chair capacity in total and an auditorium style setup, which means that it can be a large room for events, or it can be split up into 3 separate rooms for smaller events. This reservable space is home base for many classes and trainings, and it's also a home for a lot of our own programming. So our first program for the new year that will be hosted in this space is going to be our anti-racism and anti-Semitism workshop, which is coming on September 7th, and I'd love to see you all there for that one. The next space is going to be our medium and large meeting rooms, which are located on the first floor. The wallpaper in these rooms is very cool because it's actually been selected by the students and it reflects the mission and vision of Trotter. So we encourage this and all of Trotter to be used for purposeful events. One of my favorite events actually hosted in this space is Meals of Meaning, which is a chance for students of diverse backgrounds to come together over a shared meal and learn from each other's experiences and perspectives. The next space is going to be our student org lounge, which is up on the second floor. The wallpaper in this lounge, if you can actually see it behind me, is named hashtag as a nod to the hashtag BBUM movement. And it is a space that's designed for creative and ambitious minds. This is also a space where our 20 storage lockers are located, and these lockers are given to student orgs during the academic year through an application process. We also have our roof garden deck, which is on the second floor. And this space is an open and inviting space. And it also does offer the only view of State Street on campus. This space can be reserved, but only by student organizations. Following that, we have our small meeting rooms and our quiet study cubicles. So the 2 small meeting rooms are on the second floor, and we have the quiet study cubicles, which are off to the side in our quiet zone on the first floor. Then continuing on in that quiet zone, we do have reflection rooms and a foot bath. We have a smaller reflection room and a larger reflection room. These are places that are specifically for reflection, prayer, or meditation. And the large reflection room is also reservable. So going through all of the spaces, we've kind of gone through that, and now we want to just transition back over to Nathan, who will be talking about our student support services that we have.
So thank you, Erica. I appreciate that quick walk through our building. At Trotter, we also host on-site student support services. This is an opportunity for students to meet with professional staff and graduate assistants from some of our partnering offices. It's bringing services that students may not find or may not be able to get to based on location on campus, and having that right here. Our partnering offices have included university libraries, the Sweetland Writing Center, University Health Services and Wolverine Wellness, and the University Career Center. That has been opportunities for students to have one-on-one wellness coaching sessions here in Trotter, or to engage with career services as they prep for job fairs, internship fairs, and pursuing their career outside of the university. And it's also a great chance to connect with peer coaches, be that from library services or the writing center, where you can gain some insights and perspectives on your scholarship through colleagues in the context of being here in the Multicultural Center. And so it's basically us bringing some amazing services to you so that you can get them in a space that we hope you will find community in and spend a lot of your time hanging out here in the Multicultural Center. We also wanted to highlight a few upcoming programs, knowing that our time together is short. We've got lots of programmatic offerings, but we don't want to look too far ahead. let's just talk about September. We began our presentation today where you got a chance to see Dr. Kyra Shahid, the new director of the Trotter Multicultural Center. This September, we're going to host a series of Trotter chats, which are just get to know you opportunities. September 1st, and it's going to be in our main lobby. You saw the photo in our video of the wall filled with students' images. That's our main lobby of the Trotter Multicultural Center. And so in that space, we're going to host a Meet the Director Trotter chat, where you can come introduce yourself and get to know the new director of this center and the amazing leader that you heard from earlier today. On September 7th, we, as a part of our interfaith program, are hosting an anti-Semitism, anti-racism workshop where we explore how prejudice across different identities and different communities can still have detrimental impact to community. And so this exploration looks deeply at how racism and anti-Semitism have similar cores, and that we need to strike out at each as we see it and experience it in our communities. We've got another Trotter chat where we're going to do a fall preview, probably a more smooth version of what I'm doing right now, where you get a chance to see the programs and find ways that you can get engaged and involved with that. And then, as Brennan had mentioned, our Flourish series, exploring wellness through the lens of personal and social identity, kicks off in September, but will run for 6 weeks. And so on September 14th, we're exploring academic wellness, and then on the 28th, spiritual wellness as a part of that Flourish series. We hope we'll see you at these and our many other events and programs. We also hope you'll come see us. Come say hi. You're seeing through the background of this image, and Erica shared it in the tour. We've got an amazing view of State Street. We've got wonderful facilities, and they're made even better when you come in and when you get to meet your friends and you get to find those spaces. You can visit our webpage for more information. That's going to give details about processes and how you can get involved and engaged. I have far too many windows open, but in my next slide, I am going to tell you about how to join our newsletter so that you can get periodic updates from us. But I want to chat it to you before I show it to you. And so here is an opportunity to get involved with our newsletter. You can also email us any questions that you may have to our Trotter info email address. Erica mentioned that you are likely to get a response from her or whichever of the staff members is best placed to support you. And then to give just the context of where you can find us, we are here on State Street, right across from Angel Hall, a couple of doors down from the Michigan Union and LS&A. And as I was clicking through to put things in the chat to you all, I realized I blew right past where and how you can follow us. Check us out on our social media platforms. We are consistently Trotter MC. That's University of Michigan Trotter Multicultural Center, but this is way easier. And so we want you to check us out on Instagram and on Facebook, on Facebook. Wow, that's the old person talking to you. But also on Twitter. That's a chance to hear from our staff, from our social media and marketing interns, and really to keep up with the latest goings on here at the Trotter Multicultural Center. We appreciate your time and attention and for being with us today. We wish we could see your smiling faces, but you get a chance to see ours. That is our formal presentation, but if there are questions, please throw them into the Q&A. We're happy to answer those questions. And if there aren't questions, we look forward to seeing you here in the fall. Please come visit us at the Trotter Multicultural Center. And yeah, we look forward to getting to know you.
Yeah, thank you all for coming, and I'm excited to see some of you in the building, hopefully.
It was wonderful to virtually meet all of you, and I can't wait to meet you guys in person.
Thanks, everyone. Oh, Q&A. Let's do it. Oh, glad you're excited. Can't wait to get a chance to connect with you.